of the Buncombe County Board of Education. This is July the 2nd, and our meeting is starting at 10:30. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda? Thank you. Is there a second? Okay, I need to make an adjustment to the agenda. On the consent agenda, it has personnel report. We've changed our order of operation today. We're going into executive session after this meeting, so we will discuss the personnel agenda in closed session, and then we will come back out and make a report about the personnel. We'll make a report on the personnel report. So I have a motion to approve the agenda as changed, and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The first item on our agenda is the interim budget resolution for fiscal year 2015-2016. I would entertain a motion to ratify and otherwise adopt the interim budget resolution for fiscal year 2015-2016, effective July 1, 2015.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to ratify and otherwise adopt the interim budget resolution for fiscal year 2015-16, effective July 1, 2015.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Then, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the Budget Amendment 8. Is there a motion to ratify or otherwise adopt Budget Amendment 8, effective June 30, 2015?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I would like to make the motion to ratify and otherwise adopt Budget Amendment 8 effective June 30th, 2015.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. Third item on the agenda is the District Media Technology Advisory Committee recommendation. I'll recognize Mr. Pace. Boy, that scared me a little bit. He was right behind Jerry Rice, and I did not see him.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and the board. So, I come to you today to communicate the findings I'm here today to communicate the findings of the District Media and Technology Advisory Committee, which is the Community Committee Board Policy, for the appeal that was heard on June 16th. And so, MTAC took its time at the district level to review and examine all of the materials that were reviewed by the building level committee at AC Reynolds High School, and also to read or reread the novel, The Kite Runner, and then came together on June 16th for a meeting in which we heard from Mrs. Baldwin for 10 minutes, and then also the committee was informed by our district English language arts specialist for secondary, Mary Grant, on the processes which are used for a book to be added to our approved list for high schools. After which the committee thoroughly and I think heartfelt discussion took place. Virtually all of the discussion and comments were positive in favor of sustaining the local building level committee's decision. And so the MTAC committee's recommendation, as included in the report, recommendations and findings to the board, states that the district MTAC unanimously approved the motion to recommend sustaining the decision of the building level committee to keep Khalid Hosseini's The Kite Runner on the approved list for high schools for whole class instruction and respectfully submits this recommendation to the board per policy 3210, Part C, Section 3. If there are any questions, I'll do my best to answer.
Board members, obviously, if you have any questions, now would be a good time to ask, and then we'll have a period for discussion. I just want to inform you and everybody else that's here, you've received all the material that the MTAC committee received, including material I received from a parent complaining about the use of the book. Also, I want to make you aware of one other issue in accordance with your policy. Within your policy, it states, unless otherwise stated by the Board of Education, determinations regarding challenged instructional material shall be limited to the individual school and not across the entire school system. So it's within your purview and within your discretion that whatever decision you make, you can limit it to Reynolds High School, or you could let your decision stand for all high schools within Buncombe County. I just wanted to make you aware that if you take no particular action, it would only be applicable to Reynolds High School. Excuse me, let me restate that. If you don't take any action in regards to other high schools, it would only be applicable to Reynolds High School.
But it has not been objected at any other school, is that correct?
It has not.
So as it stands, it's fine on all the other schools currently?
It is, but ultimately, if you state that your decision is applicable to all high schools, let me give you an example. If you indicate that the book is acceptable for all high schools, that means there cannot be another challenge to that material in the future, unless the board would be willing to hear that challenge.
I see, thank you.
At this time, we would entertain questions from the board.
Just out of curiosity, how long has the book been on the approved list in the county?
So, the details, specific details of the date are not available. Different personnel in place at the time, but we have determined that it has been on the approved list for high schools since prior to the year 2010.
And my understanding was that somebody could opt out if they wanted to at the classroom.
That is correct. The teacher provided an opportunity for parents to opt their child out of this book and provided an alternative selection.
Other questions? I would like to state that Ms. Churchill and I chose to attend the meeting when the countywide MTAC committee met. I can only speak for myself. I was very impressed with the information that was shared at that time, and I feel very strongly that our system has heard the complaint, has reviewed the information, and made their decision.
I would agree with you, Madam Chair.
If you don't mind, could I just kind of share my thought process because this is an appropriate time. I wasn't planning on reading that book this summer. It wasn't on my list, but I'm glad I did read it. Part of it was very troublesome. It was painful to read at times, but it was overall I'm glad I read it. Over the last month, I've gotten lots of emails, mostly in support of the book. I know last at the meeting, Barry was talking about there was some public comment opposed to the book. I got an email today that was opposed to the book. But I think if we read when we read our policy, I think it's important. And I like this, and I think it's true, because it doesn't really matter what everybody thinks. The board believes professional educators are in the best position to determine whether a particular instructional material is appropriate for the age and the maturity of the students and for the subject matter being taught. And I think that's critical. When you look at the list of the people that were on the building level and also on the district level, it's an impressive list of educators. that have a tremendous amount of experience, more so than parents, more so than even the students that emailed me. And that's who, as a board member, I'm looking to for guidance. And it's been through 2 committees, and both believe the book should be part of the teachings. And then on a national level, again, looking at what the experts think, it was listed as a possible reference in one of the AP English exams this year. So even on a national level, it's recognized as a book that's appropriate for this age group.
I'd also like to speak, if I could, as a parent of a student who just finished the 10th grade at Reynolds High School, as a member of this board, as an author myself. I know that one of the objections that has been raised to this book is the Lexile score and the fact that it is written at, I think it was a 6th grade reading level, something like that. I remember my grandfather, who was a prominent Baptist minister in the South, talking about a sign of true wisdom and brilliance is to be able to share complicated and sometimes difficult concepts in simple language. And I think that this beautifully written book, which I too read this summer for the first time, is an example of that. And it's not necessarily a beautiful topic. It's a difficult topic, and my daughter and I have had great conversations about it. And I think that it is important for our students to have access to difficult material that they can then process in school with each other and with their teachers who are professionals and are educated themselves to lead this kind of discussion. So I'm grateful that this process has happened in our community and that so many of us have read this book and are talking about it, and this is what democracy this is what democracy is about. And so I'm happy that our students are reading it and thinking about it and talking about this book.
Thank you. Another board member?
I would just like to say that what concerns me more than just the topic of this book and what people may think about it is the fact that we would even for one moment consider censoring this book to not allow our students to have the opportunity to make the decision for themselves. I thought one of the things that we were trying to teach our students was the ability to think for themselves, handle difficult material, and not cave to what people tell them that they should think and believe, but to read something for themselves to make their own decision. So if we say that we do not want this book in our schools, I don't think we even give them the opportunity to have the choice to say whether they agree with the author or not. And in my opinion, I think that we should always give the students as much opportunity as possible to make decisions that in 2 years they'll make anyway.
Madam Chair, I would like to echo what Mr. Craig said regarding the decision and the review by professional educators. These are the folks, in my opinion, who have trained and devoted their lives to their art, their craft. And it sounds like on 2 different committee occasions, they very unanimously pulled this book. And I certainly appreciate that. I guess the thing that, as I think about it, the possibility or the option for parents to opt their children out was given to them. And I think that's fair. I think absolutely that's a fair thing to do. What concerns me, however, is that those students in that particular class didn't get the opportunity. In essence, due to the actions that were taken by challenging and going through this process, the book was taken away from those students. So in essence, there was a limited censorship due to the policy that exists currently. So despite what happens here when we vote children, I think there may need to be a review of that. And if there's a challenge to be made, it needs to be made long before the class has begun and the students are beginning to read, and you have to take this material back. And you shorten the amount of time that's available for the instructor in the classroom to deliver the instruction to that class. And if it's 2 to 3 weeks into the semester, whatever, that's a lot. If you've got a large reading assignment, that's a lot of time taken away from that instructor, from that student. So,
Anyone else?
I'd like to, you probably will, but I'd like to thank the committee members and the staff time. I know it's taken a tremendous amount of everybody's time to do this. I do think it was a very thorough process, but unfortunately, thoroughness means you all spend a lot of time on this, so thank you.
Does any board member have a motion they would like to put forth?
Madam Chair, I would move that we adopt the recommendations presented by the system-wide exam.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there, all those in favor?
clarification.
Any further discussion? Yes.
Yes, clarification. Based on Mr. Shapley's comments at the beginning, I didn't understand that Mr. Bryant was saying that this would be accepted district-wide, or is it just for the one single school?
My motion was to accept the recommendation made by the committee. I did it.
And apply that district-wide.
I'm not sure. I hear what Mr. Shack is saying. I'm not sure that, even if we can do that, I'm not sure that's the best way for this board to do that. We have a specific recommendation from a committee as related to a specific complaint. My personal preference would be to, yes, do that, but to do it in a separate measure, perhaps at another meeting, because of the wording, the way this recommendation is. I know we can do it, but my motion was to accept what was presented. And maybe Mr. Shadow, I know what the statute says, and I appreciate it, but to just,
Can I address that briefly?
yeah.
Their recommendation is actually to keep the KITE runner on the approved list for high schools for whole class. So, and they're allowed to make that recommendation. So if that is the recommendation, it's just not limited to minimums. Again, you all have the discretion to do whatever it is you want to do.
Well, if that's what they're recommending, that's my motion, and I would say that's what we do.
Okay, and the second?
My second stands.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Madam Chair, I don't know that we've pointed it out today, but just maybe as a reminder that there were a couple of parents on this district-wide impact committee, correct?
Yes. Any other discussion? And I call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The recommendation stands. Thank you. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. We've got a consent agenda that we have to go through. And I removed the personnel report from that consent agenda. So now we're looking at the ADA accessibility improvements at 6 high schools, the project agreement. And then we're looking at Discovery Academy, authorization to hire consultants for phase 2 design. Do I hear a motion to accept the consent agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, at this time, I'll entertain a motion to go into closed session. Do I have a motion?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you. And a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're moving down the hall to have closed session. We will return here when closed session is over. Thank you all. We can create a good morning in there. We are going to continue with our agenda. The board has been meeting in executive session to discuss Dr. Baldwin's evaluation, the personnel report, and the discretionary admission and releases of students. I would entertain a motion at this time to accept the personnel report and to accept the discretionary admission and releases of students.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All right, I would also like to, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, you have to watch me. I just wanted to tell, I know you. I wanted to tell people that Cindy McMahon had a family event that she had to attend, and that's the reason she isn't in here. At this time, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. And a second would be nice.
Second.
And all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Our next meeting is August. At 6:30 in the afternoon. August 6th. August 6th, unless we have to change